Interview.
Earth Defense Force as a franchise has been around for years. In Japan, it was a cult hit, came out almost 8 years ago now. And the basic idea of Earth Defense Force is soldiers fighting against massive numbers of insects. And it's anything from ants to spiders to wasps to all kinds of different weird bugs and things. And there's also giant robots. I mean, it is coming from Japan after all, so this makes sense. So it's kind of a B-movie feel to it, but kind of staying somewhat serious, you know, while throwing off one-liners every now and then too. EDF was released as a 360 game in the West. 2017 was the first next-gen game that came out in Japan, the rest of them having come out on PlayStation 2. But we saw another opportunity to bring an EDF out to people over here, and we said, you know what, let's go for it.
Engaging Ravagers.
The heads that were in charge of designing the original Earth Defense Forces are actually on board with this version of it. They've taken a look at our designs and everything like that for the enemies, taken a look at the characters, how we're doing the upgrade systems, and are kind of acting, you know, as an advisory. I mean, yes, we know what we want to do with the game, but it ensures that we're going to have an EDF experience. It's going to be what, you know, they would envision, even though it's going to have more of a Western slant.
I will kill all of you!
The upgrade system and everything like that has been completely revamped for this version, as opposed to just kind of collecting armor as you're going through and collecting weapons and hoping that you finally get that Lysander Z. It's more of a shop-based thing. You get credits as you go through and kill bugs and complete your missions, and you can then go into the shop and buy weapons for those different armors. There's 4 different combat armors in this game as well, whereas the earlier games either had just Storm 1, which is kind of the trooper in this game, or Pale Wing, which is the flying armor from the earlier EDF. There's a jet armor, which acts very much like Pale Wing, the trooper, like I said before, Storm 1. A battle armor, which is a new type. He's a very slow-moving but heavy weapon tank-type character. He also has an energy shield that he can put up in front of himself. And then there's also the tactical armor, who has a little bit lighter weapons overall, but he's able to drop different turrets, which enable him to have like plasma launchers all over the battlefield, things like that, which you could do in the original EDF, but that kind of took up your weapon slot, and that's all you could do with it. The weapons are different per armor type, but you'll see some similarities as well. So if you like an assault rifle type thing, you'll be able to find something similar. Well, the story for EDF Instant Armageddon is kind of a split off of where it is in 2017. It takes place in New Detroit and is about as coherent as you normally would get with a bunch of random aliens attacking the city and causing a lot of havoc. So yes, it does have a story and you can follow it and get a lot out of it if you really dig, but if you're just playing, it's not going to be you know, the focus and thrust of the experience. So for this iteration, there is a online multiplayer mode, so you can go online, play with up to 3 other, or up to 2 other players, so 3-player total online, for the entire campaign mode. So you can go on, play one by yourself with 2 bots, go online, pick up random people, play up to 3 players, and choose all your armors and things like that, go into any campaign that you want to, and play. As well, there's also a survival mode in the game, which is up to 6 players. And that's your fairly standard survival mode where you got wave upon wave of increasing enemies, where eventually you're going to get overrun, but let's see how long you can live. One of the other things in the online mode, just in general, is that you can also help out your teammates. So if your teammate gets demolished by, you know, an incoming ant swarm, he's lying on the ground near dead, and you can run over and actually try to save him, which plays a huge role in survival mode and trying to keep yourself up. The online and offline modes are exactly the same. Your character that you build up offline is also your online character. So if you're playing offline, you're basically playing the same thing you'd be playing online, but with bots instead of the other player characters. Earth Defense Force Insect Armageddon is going to be coming out for the Xbox 360 and the PS3 this coming spring.